Tuned in now, we're ready to share stories of melodies that fill the air. From rock and roll to soul and everything in between. We'll take you on a journey, it's a sonic dream. Welcome to the Melody Podcast, where music comes alive. Discover the history and the songs that will make you thrive. From catchy hooks to heartfelt lyrics, we've got it all. Join us on this melodic ride, we'll have a ball.
Welcome back to another episode of the Melody Podcast. We are on episode 9, almost to the double digits. This season is rolling by, and I'm working on season 2 now, which won't be out until May, but I just wanted to let you know that it's going to be awesome. Thank you for staying with me, and if you are new to the Melody Podcast, my name is James Shelton, and we talk about music and music history. Everyone enjoyed the hits of the 50s episode, so we're going to keep it going today. I'm going to talk about the hits of the 60s. And I know I already did one of the episodes where I talked about the way the 60s worked, like the culture and everything, but it's going to relay some of it back to that, but with other things added to it. So, here we go. The 1960s were a decade of musical diversity and innovation, with many genres and artists reaching the top of the charts. And I have some of the biggest hit songs of the 60s coming right up. So here are the top 10 songs of the 60s. These are not all the greatest songs of the 60s, of course, but these are the top 10 of the 60s. So we got number 1, Hey Jude by the Beatles, a 7-minute ballad that became the band's longest running number 1 single in the US and the UK. Number 2, I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye, a soulful classic that expressed the pain of betrayal and suspicion. Number 3, Respect by Aretha Franklin, a powerful anthem of female empowerment and self-confidence that earned her the title of Queen of Soul. Number 4, Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones, a rebellious rock song that captured the frustration and discontent of the youth culture. Number 5, Aquarius / Let the Sunshine In by the Fifth Dimension, a melody of 2 songs from the musical Hair that celebrated the dawn of the age of Aquarius. Number 6, The Twist by Chubby Checker, a dance craze that swept the nation and became the only song to top the Billboard Hot 100 twice in different years. Number 7, My Girl by The Temptations, a sweet and romantic song that showcased the group's harmonies and vocal talents. Number 8, Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, a complex and innovative song that used unconventional instruments and techniques to create a psychedelic sound. Number 9, Yesterday by the Beatles, a simple song that became one of the most covered songs of all time. And number 10, Stand By Me by Ben E. King, a soulful and timeless song that expressed the value of friendship and loyalty. These are just some of the many great songs that I found from the 60s. And there are many fun and interesting facts about the music from the 60s. Here are 5 examples. Number 1, the Beatles released their first single, Love Me Do, in the United Kingdom in 1962. They also recorded the song in German as, I will not be able to get this right, but Seilebditch, otherwise known as She Loves You. They recorded that song to appeal to their German fans. And number two, the audio cassette was invented in 1962 by the company Philips, which is a Dutch company. This made it easier for people to listen to music on portable devices and record their own songs. Number three, the song Louie Louie by the Kingsmen was investigated by the FBI for allegedly containing obscene lyrics. However, the investigation was inconclusive and the song was never banned. Number four, the Motown record label, founded by Berry Gordy Jr. in Detroit, produced some of the most popular and influential artists of the 60s, such as Marvin Gaye, The Supremes, The Temptations, and Stevie Wonder. Motown was also known for its distinctive sound, which blended soul, pop, and R&B. And finally, number five, the Woodstock Music Festival, held in 1969 in New York, was one of the largest and most iconic events of the 60s. It featured performances by Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, The Who, and many others. The festival attracted over 400,000 people and became a symbol of the hippie culture and the counterculture movement. Now, here are some of the most famous musicians of the 60s. And of course, I've said it multiple times already, but the Beatles, who were the most influential and popular music group in history with songs like Hey Jude, Yesterday, and Help. Bob Dylan, who was a folk singer and a songwriter who tackled social and political issues in his lyrics, such as Blowing in the Wind and The Times They Are Changing. Ray Charles, who was a pioneer of soul music and blended genres such as R&B, gospel, and country in his songs, such as Georgia on My Mind and Hit the Road Jack. The Temptations, who were a vocal group that superhitted the Motown sound with their harmonies and dance moves, with songs like My Girl and Ain't Too Proud to Beg. James Brown, who was the godfather of soul and one of the founders of funk music, with songs like Papa's Got a Brand New Bag and I Got You. And finally, Otis Redding, who was a soul singer and a songwriter who expressed emotion and passion in his songs, such as Sitting on the Dock of a Bay and Try a Little Tenderness. These are just a few examples of many musicians who made the 60s a memorable decade for music. Now it's time for the fun music fact of the week. Music can help you concentrate and work better, whether you are a student or a professional. You will find music to be the best companion that makes you work better. Music can relax your mind and offer you a perfect channel to focus on a topic. You will also feel detached from the world and float in a world of your own where it will make you feel comfortable. It has been found that music also makes you work harder without even noticing. You will also not feel time passing by when your favorite music is being played. For instance, weightlifters and bodybuilders find their genres of music more motivating. They show more endurance, productivity, power, and strength. So I have a question. Are you a cat hoarder? Freddie Mercury would often call home while on the road and ask to speak to his beloved cats. Whoever was on the receiving end would pick one up and give it a little squeeze. According to longtime assistant Peter Freestone, just so the Queen frontman could hear a few meows. His cats were his family, Freestone once said. It makes sense then that the cats appear in Bohemian Rhapsody, a Queen biopic featuring Rami Malek as the band's lead vocalist. While Malek has been widely praised for his portrayal, the same cannot be said for, any other aspect of the film. So instead, let's focus on what everyone can agree deserves our attention: the cats. An early scene features at least 6 of his pets, but Freestone could name 10 cats Mercury had throughout his 45 years. You had Dorothy, Tiffany, Tom, Jerry, Delilah, Lily, Miko, Goliath, Oscar, and Romeo, the last six of whom outlived their owner. Mercury shared Tom and Jerry with Mary Austin, a romantic partner turned friend he once referred to as his common law wife. She played in the film by Lucy Boynton. She gave him Tiffany, the only thoroughbred cat he ever had, according to Freestone. The rest were adopted from shelters or animal hospitals to save their lives, basically, Freestone explained, adding that Mercury was the kindest, most generous, loyal friend anybody could wish to have. The singer's phone calls to his cats made in Bohemian Rhapsody when the on-screen Mercury asked Austin if she can put Tom and Jerry on the line. Freestone consulted on the project throughout the production, and though he had not seen the film's final cut at the time of the interview, he said it was apparent that the set and production designers wanted to make it seem as real as possible, Freddie Mercury's cats, Lily and Romeo, were among 10 felines he owned over the course of his lifetime. This meant dressing the set of Mercury's Garden Lodge estate in lavish curtains and ornate furniture, the latter of which is mentioned in Delilah, which Mercury wrote and performed for his last album with Queen. The song serves as an ode to his favorite cat. You make me very happy when you cuddle up and go to sleep beside me, and then you make me slightly mad when you pee all over my Chippendale suite. While Mercury didn't actually have a Chippendale suite, Freestone clarified he did have a dining room of furniture created in a similar style. Freestone said he clearly remembered the incident in which the cats urinated on the floor-to-ceiling racing green curtains that had been drawn closed, which left yellow and arch-shaped stains at the bottom. Mercury went, "Who's done it? Who's done this?" thinking someone had spilled bleach, Freestone recalled. Soon it was pointed out, "Look at the height. Look where it's at. It's the cats." And that was the only room they were ever forbidden from. Freestone started working for Mercury in November 1979, a month after they met, when Freestone was handling a wardrobe for the Royal Ballet at the Royal Opera House in London. He stayed on the job until the end of February 1992, 3 months after Mercury died from AIDS-related complications. Rolling Stone wrote in 2014 that one of Mercury's final actions was stroking Delilah's fur. That loving nature comes across in the scene in Bohemian Rhapsody, in which Mercury exclaims that in his new home, each cat has its own bedroom. As Jim Hutton, Mercury's partner of 7 years, wrote in his memoir, Freddie treated the cats like his own children. Now it's time for the music history of the week for March 2nd. I've got a lot for you today. In 1984, This Is Spinal Tap is released in theaters, chronicling the hapless heavy metal band with exploding drummers and an amp that goes to 11. It leaves some in laughter and some in tears. Ozzy Osbourne is just confused. In 2014, 20 Feet from Stardom, a film about backup singers featuring Darlene Love and Lisa Fischer, wins the Oscar for Best Documentary. Love gets a standing ovation when she sings part of her acceptance speech. In 1989, Like a Prayer becomes the first hit song to debut in a commercial when it is used in a 2-minute Pepsi ad starring Madonna. In 1988, U2 won their first Grammy Award, taking Album of the Year and Best Performance by Rock Duo or group with vocal for the Joshua Tree. In 1987, the trio album, a collaboration between Linda Ronstadt and Emmylou Harris and Dolly Parton, is released. The album had been planned since 1979. It was worth the wait, selling over 4 million copies and winning the Grammy Award for Best Country Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocal. In 1942, Lou Reed is born Louis Allen Reed in Brooklyn, New York. In 1990, Luke Combs is born in Huntersville, North Carolina. He moves to Nashville and quickly lands a series of country hits, including When It Rains, It Pours and Beautiful Crazy. And in 1983, the first CD players are released in America, along with 16 albums on a CD. Now it's time for the Melody Media News of the Week. To celebrate 2 months since launch, we are launching our very first sweepstakes. The sweepstakes runs March 1st through the 31st. We will announce the winner on April 1st. No fooling you. All you have to do is buy merchandise on shopmelody.com and you're automatically entered to win a $50 gift card that you can use anywhere. Walmart, Lowe's, wherever you shop at, Target, all those. And you also get a $50 Melody gift card to use on shopmelody.com. The total value for the sweepstakes is $100 US dollars. You get 1 entry per transaction. Also, sign up to become a free member on our website so you can keep track of purchases and build points towards discounts and free product. Subscribe to the post letter to get an email on who wins. The winner will also receive an exclusive website badge, a shout out on social media, including the Melody Podcast, and will get a custom Melody t-shirt with their name on it. Use code GOODLIFE20, that's GOODLIFE20, at checkout to save 20% on your entire order starting March 1st. Thank you for choosing Melody Media. The sweepstakes is supported entirely by Shelton Enterprises. Also, check out the bonus episode that came out on Friday introducing Melody Media's first employees. Joining me, I have Jared Audio and Charles Hunt. They will be helping out with the podcast going forward. Thanks for listening to the Melody Podcast. I'm going to turn it over to Charles and Jared now. I'll hit you with the strings next week.
Hi, I'm Charles. James Audio and I thank you for listening to the Melody Podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. Please consider following us and leaving a review. Also visit shopmelody.com to buy some merch. This has been a Melody Media production.
Hey guys, my name is Jared Audio. I wrote the song for the Melody Podcast that is played at the beginning of every episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoy it. Go buy some merch and get yourself an entry into the sweepstakes. Thanks for listening to the Melody Podcast.